Hey, Mike with Nerd Problems Gaming here, and today's video we'll be going through 7 new Nintendo eShop sale games worth buying, so let's get into it. Now real quick before we get started, at the time of filming and posting this video, all of these games are on sale, but depending on when you're watching this, some of the sales may have ended, so definitely be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to make sure you get the latest updates of new sale videos we put out, so you don't miss any games on sale. Also, whether you see these games on sale or not, they're all a ton of fun, and I would definitely recommend them either way. But if you can get them on sale, obviously that's a better deal. But either way, I would recommend checking these games out. And with that said, let's jump into the video. Now the first game on this list is the Amnesia Collection. And so this is a collection of 3 horror games. 2 are full games, 1 is more of an expansion in the series. But the games themselves are a first-person horror game. And so in these games, it's not necessarily a survival horror like you might be used to playing games like Resident Evil where you're actively going after enemies. In this one, you're more exploring a castle, uncovering the plot, and running and hiding from crazy enemies. And so the story of the first game is that you wake up in this abandoned castle and your character Daniel can't really remember anything, but you discover a note to yourself saying that you need to descend into the castle and kill the Baron, but you're not exactly sure why. And so as you go through the castle, you'll explore different rooms, uncover crazy events going on, and unravel the story of why you want to kill this Baron. And so throughout the game, you're really on edge. You can pick up various items and explore the castle. And there's also a mechanic where you can turn on lights by lighting candles or using your lantern as you explore. But the longer that you walk around in darkness or are outside of the light, the crazier and more insane you get. And so this will manifest itself by hearing crazy noises throughout the castle, creaks and cracks on the floor. It sounds like little bugs are running around. You hear doors opening and closing. You're not really sure what's going on. And then also the screen will start to blur, you'll start to see hallucinations. So it's very important to stay in the light when you can to manage your sanity. But it's a pretty intense survival horror game and it'll keep you on edge the whole time. And so like I mentioned, you get basically 3 games in this collection. It's on a great deal right now. And if you like survival horror games, I definitely recommend it. Alright, the next game on the list is Trifox. And so this is more of a shift from the last game. It's a little bit more lighthearted. And so in this game, you play as a fox that goes on a quest to get revenge after those that have stolen his TV remote. So again, like I said, it's pretty lighthearted, but you'll play as this fox with unique abilities and different classes that you can play as in this fun action platformer. And so it reminded me of classic games like Ratchet & Clank and Crash Bandicoot. But as this fox, you have 3 different classes where the Trifox comes from. And so you can play as a mage type character, an engineer, and then a warrior type class. And throughout the game, you'll collect different coins, and then you can use these coins to unlock abilities on your character. And so each one of the classes has their own skill tree type area where you can unlock those abilities, but you don't have to stay as one specific class. You can mix and match abilities as you choose to fit the different levels. You can switch them out as you go as well to help you get past different challenges and bosses. So if you want a more lighthearted, fun action platforming game, and as I mentioned, that's similar to classics like Crash Bandicoot, I would definitely recommend checking out Trifox. It just came out, but it's on sale right now, and it's worth checking out. Alright, the next game on the list is Alien Isolation. So this is another similar survival horror type game, but this time it's set in the Alien universe, based on the Alien series of movies. And so again, instead of being more of an action-based survival horror type game, you're more going through a giant space station than hiding from the alien monster. You can't actually defeat the monster, so you'll need to think of cunning ways to hide from the monster, ways to sabotage it, and maybe harm it for a little bit so you can get away. So there's a huge space station to explore. But again, like I said in this one, it's less action-oriented, more survival-oriented, and hiding from the alien and other challenging enemies you'll find throughout the space station. It's super eerie and dark, and it follows the story of Ripley's daughter, the main character from the Alien series. So if you like that world and that lore from the Alien movies, I would definitely recommend checking this out. It's a really intense survival horror game, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, shifting gears again to more of a lighthearted game, the next game on the list is Fibbage Xl. And so this is a fun party game that mixes trivia with bluffing. And so how the game works, as I mentioned, it's a party game, so all the players will be playing at once. And what the game will do is it will prompt you with a trivia question, and then you need to come up with an answer that you think everyone else will guess as the right answer. And so again, it gives you an opportunity to be creative, to be funny, to try and get people to guess your answer. But then also you're given the choice once the question's done to choose what answer you think is the right answer. So you get points when you guess the right answer, but then you also get points when people guess your answer. And then it's also beneficial to know the answer, so if you're good at trivia to begin with and you know the right answer, you can pick it, and then you can make up an answer that's very similar to the real answer to hopefully steal votes from other people to earn the most points. There's a ton of questions in this game, so it has a really high replay value. It's super easy to learn and play. It's fun for party nights, and it gets really addicting and a lot of fun. So if you're into a fun trivia party game, I definitely recommend checking out Fibbage Xl. Alright, the next game on the list is the Capcom Fighting Collection. And so if you've been a fighting game fan for a long time, I'm sure you've played many of the fighting games from the Capcom series, like the Street Fighter series, but also the Darkstalkers series. And so you may have seen these characters in mashup games like Marvel vs. Capcom or other Capcom mashup fighting games, but this is the first time that the entire early collection from the Darkstalkers series has been released outside of Japan. So this series, their fighting characters are more horror-based monsters, so things like Frankenstein, the Mummy, vampires, werewolves, and much more. So it's cool to take on these different characters that have very colorful and unique skill sets that reflect their different monster abilities. And so it's a fun take on the fighting genre. So as I mentioned, the game has several Darkstalkers games. There's a Street Fighter 2 version in the game, and there's also a couple Puzzle Fighters, which combines both a puzzle game and a fighting game at the same time, which is pretty fun. There's also a couple more unique fighting games from the Capcom library in this collection as well. So if you like retro classic style fighting games and want to check out some of the big ones from the Darkstalkers series, I definitely recommend it. Alright, the next game on the list is another party game, and this one is Quip Lash 2 International. And so this game is a little bit similar to Fibbage, but this time around you're prompted with different questions and your goal is to come up with the funniest answer that you think the most people will get. And so in this game you go head to head against one other player. It's still a party game, so everyone will contribute, but it'll be your answer versus one other person, and then players will vote on which answer they think is the best or the most funny or maybe has the best pun, whatever route you want to go, and it's a ton of fun. And so again, how it works is you'll have your answer versus another person, players will vote, and the player that gets the most votes will earn the most points each round. And then each overall round for the game, points will progressively increase, and so things get more intense the longer the game goes and gets into further rounds, as you can really come back from behind even if you don't do well early in the game. It's great for a ton of laughs, it's super simple to play and learn, it's one of my favorite party games and I definitely recommend it. Alright, the next game on the list is Burnout Paradise Remastered. And so this is a unique open world racing game. There's not a ton of story to the game though, but the basic idea of the game is that you are racing around Paradise City. You start off with a basic driver's license and you'll need to complete different challenges, different races, and unlock many different cars and upgrade your license along the way. And so like I mentioned, there's different cars that you'll unlock. You start off with more of a basic car, and as you progress and complete races and challenges, you'll unlock new cars, but it's more than just races. So some of the races, you're trying to go from one destination to another, but it's not like traditional racing games where you have a set path that you have to go along. They basically give you a couple pins, so they're like, here's where you start, here's where you need to finish, go figure it out. So you can go any route you choose throughout the race, again with the goal of being the first person to get to that finish line. So there's a ton of shortcuts throughout the city. There's massive jumps where you can perform stunts to increase your boost gauge quickly. You can take out different cars by smashing them into walls, which can also give you a massive speed boost to help you win races and challenges. The game is definitely addicting, going from area to area, completing little challenges like taking out billboards, finding hidden paths. There's stunt challenges. There's challenges where you need to take out so many cars. There's challenges where you need to race to the end without getting destroyed. And the list goes on and on. So if you like racing games, if you like open world games, this is a great combination of both. This Ultimate Remastered Edition also comes with a ton of DLC cars already unlocked. So it's fun if you want to start with those and play with those right away, but it might make some of the challenges a lot easier. So if you want to go the traditional route, starting with your basic car and unlocking new cars as you go, that's an option as well. I'm definitely a fan that there's a Ghostbusters themed car in the game as well, but if you want a unique racing game that performs great on the Switch, I definitely recommend checking out Burnout Paradise Remastered. Well again guys, hopefully you enjoyed this list of 7 new Nintendo eShop sale games worth buying. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Have you played any of these games yet? Are you going to pick them up now that you know that they're on sale? Are there any other great games on sale right now I should check out? let me know in the comments below. And if you like videos like this, be sure to smash that like button as it really helps out the channel. And if you like videos like this on video games, board games, and everything nerdy, check out one of our other videos here. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to get the latest updates of new sale videos like this we put out and other great content on everything nerdy. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.